everyone, it's your geek with the technique, shooting up the whole competition. And today, for season 3 of the Geekish Gamer Show, we're going to start off with everything EA announced at E3 2017. So without further ado, let's begin. Kick it off, let's talk about the Star Wars Battlefront 2 multiplayer gameplay. It seems that EA is extremely dedicated to Star Wars Battlefront 2 as they apologized in the beginning, which was a heartfelt apology. I really did feel it. It didn't feel very corporate. It felt very natural for this corporation to apologize, which is actually surprising because E3 is a time to be celebrating your accomplishments instead of your bad things. But I'm glad that they came down the pedestal and actually apologized. Thank you, EA. But apparently, all post-release multiplayer add-ons or DLC will be free. As for gameplay, well, I really couldn't get a good feel for it because there were so many cuts in between, except for that 15-minute gameplay. But still, there was so much content and so much heavy content in there. You really couldn't tell or get a good feel of what you could grasp onto as gameplay-wise, or how you felt about the gameplay. It did seem fun, and it did have a lot of content. It was heavy in content, something that the first Star Wars Battlefront should have had. There's also supposed to be more abilities, classes, vehicles, and more options in total. Now, a new IP that was very eye-popping was A Way Out, which seems to be either split-screen or co-op and trying to escape a prison. It looks very cinematic, in some ways Uncharted-inspired. There's not a lot I can say, only that I hope they have a heavy story, which it seems to have from the trailer. Another new IP, which we got a short look at, was a game called Anthem, which looks heavily sci-fi based with some pretty wild environments, big monsters, and power armor, like that power armor, Fallout 4 style. Anyway, it looks like you may have to go outside of the wall, this narrator talks about, to combat against these monsters or something in that range. Apparently, we will have more at the Xbox E3 briefing, so stay tuned. In other news of the press conference, Battlefield 1 gets a new Russian expansion and night maps in the new expansion, which is called In the Name of Tsar. It will add 6 new maps with the Russian army and a iconic women's battalion. The expansion comes in September, and I also see a new competitive squad mode that was teased during the EA conference, but more details will be shown at Gamescom in August. In other news of the press conference, EA shared more info about Need for Speed Payback. I mean, it looks like a pretty good title, so where are they paying me back? I'm joking, no. Which seems to be very reminiscent of the Fast and Furious franchise. As the gameplay trailer released, it was really focused on action driving with 3 playable characters, all with different sets of skills. Now, I love racing games, so I can't wait to see more in-depth gameplay, such as the customization on your car or anything above what we see at E3 2017. To end everything, we'll bring up the sports section of EA's press conference, Madden, which seems to be adding a long shot trailer towards the franchise, which was very dramatic. Also to mention, I love Madden, and I love that it has a story mode, finally bringing a lot more depth to the series, instead of these little tweaks or little designs for each year towards the franchise. FIFA 18 got some new animations and signature moves to make the series feel different with the Frostbite engine as well, making it more graphically pleasing. I've never been a big FIFA fan, so I'm glad the changes are being made to FIFA, as all games in the series should do. Last but not least, we have NBA Live 18. Never been a big fan about NBA or NBA Live or NBA games, but it basically showed how you will maintain and progress through the game. So overall, how was EA's press conference with me reading off the script? Well, EA's press conference overall, I'm just going to talk off the script here, guys. EA's press conference overall was, nothing that wasn't expected. I expected them to talk about their sports games. I really thought they were going to bring out some, more new IPs, but that wasn't the case. But I did love, their content and heavy brain content and how they put forth and showed Star Wars Battlefront 2. I even love the delivery. Some people say, Jyn Erso's, not Jyn Erso's, but the character being played on Star Wars Battlefront 2, the enemy you're fighting against, or the enemy, you are the enemy. The person you're going as, was basically there at the press conference and basically hosting it and, you know, showing off the game. But I loved her, you know, I loved her influence. I loved her personality. I loved the way she acted. It was pretty cool, and I loved it. I didn't really feel as if it was cringy at all. I loved it. I loved her inspiring, you know, personality towards the game and towards the franchise that's going to become. But overall, I felt that the EA press conference was lacking in new IPs. I also do feel in some type of way that, you know, there were some good moments, which was StarWars Battlefront 2. You know, these 2 new games was cool. I liked A Way Out. I liked Anthem. I just wanted to see more. It wasn't anything bad. And matter of fact, I'd have to give it probably like a C+, because, you know, it basically wasn't unexpected. Nothing came up that was new. The games that were shown were really good. I expected Madden to be shown. I expected FIFA. I expected NBA. I expected, you know, these games to be shown. Need for Speed Payback, I did not expect to be shown. But, you know, I feel that, you know, EA's big knocker was probably Star Wars Battlefront 2. Probably took up half of the show, I think. So yeah, I think that they did a really good job with the content and talking about Star Wars Battlefront 2. But overall, it was nothing like exciting or new that, you know, came from the whole entire you know, press conference. At moments it was cringy hearing some people talk who were business incorporated and really didn't know how to interact with the audience. But overall, it was a very good experience, and I hope they can, you know, better themselves for next year's E3. So overall, I felt like I can give it like a C+ probably for EA's press conference. Thank you guys for staying around after a month. I haven't made content in a month. Can you believe that? That's terrible. So we're going to start going back to back when Microsoft comes out for today, and then we're going to talk about some other stuff and more stuff. Since it is summer break, I'm going to be on the clock, by the clock, on the hour, all the time to make, upload, and put out new content. So thank you guys for waiting for a month. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to bring some new content, some stories, some vlogs. I can't wait to start doing those things as well. Getting a little personal with the fans and things like that. Also, one thing I like to put out is we do have an Instagram now. So yes. You geeks and fans can go to my Instagram page right in the description below. We also still are on Twitter and Twitch, so please don't forget to look at those in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe, and I'll see you guys later on the next Geekish Gamer Show. Bye, guys.